So, John, a very good evening to you and thanks for your time. So, what are you doing in this week? What are you encouraging South Africans to do in this week?
Oh, my encouraging. Yeah, it's a tough week. We've reached out to so many people. We've got registered about 350 different cleanups on rivers, coastal and some of the islands. So it's been a tough week. You know, when you do events, those little gremlins always creep in it right at the last end, like the weather.
So what is the aim here? I mean, we do this for 1 week. Everybody gets all excited. We get them involved in projects, and then what?
No, the one thing that differentiates the International Coastal Cleanup from all other cleanups is the fact that it's an audited cleanup. So we do social citizen science by collecting the data of what people are picking up on the coasts, rivers, and on the offshore islands. What is it that's lying out there? Because that gives us a picture, not just nationally, but internationally, of what we find in the environment. What are those problem animals? And what are they? At number one always will be microplastics, and unfortunately it's an item maybe we just cannot do anything about because it's plastics breaking down, it's pellets, things like that. In your urban cleanups, you will always have your closures, your lids, sticks, straws, plastic bags, plastic bottles. Those are the things you'll find in an urban cleanup. If you move a little bit away, it changes depending on the area. Each beach has a specific signature, and that's the critical part. Find the source of that material within that specific area. Why are we finding, for instance, cable ties in large amount in a specific area? Where is it coming from? And try and stop the inflow of that into that area. Well,
who are the main culprits then, John? I mean, give us some idea. Name names. Let's name and shame if you want to, because obviously this comes from mass dumping in these water bodies.
Yes, it is. That's the culprit, and unfortunately that's poverty. We can't do anything about that. If you've got poverty, you've got informal settlements with no waste management or poor waste management. People just throw it into a river, it flows away. The next morning, the waste they had has disappeared, but unfortunately ends up in the sea, and that's where we need to then clean it up.
Well, John, what do you say to those out there who might be thinking, as you and I are speaking, well, the plastic industry itself, you know, needs to sort of find other ways, get rid of plastics, go into the alternatives. And we know slowly they are creeping in. We started with the straws and paper bags and all of that. So do you see the time coming where we can do without plastics, where your industry will make that change to the alternatives fully?
My background is an environmentalist, so I'm not a spin doctor for the plastics industry, but I'm also very practical. We have to look at plastics, is what people are telling you, that it's bioplastics is compostable. Is that in fact compostable? And what is the carbon footprint of that? Plastics have a point, they have a place. It's the poor waste management of it that is the problem. We can't live without plastics in the 21st century. There is no real alternatives at the moment that is affordable. The price of biomaterial is extremely high, and we in South Africa cannot plant material to generate plastics while we have copious amounts of polymer in South Africa.
And very quickly for us, John, if you had to rate us as a recycling nation, how are we doing?
When it comes to full material, and that's your non-rigid plastics, we are probably one of the best in the world. You know, until a few years ago, Europe wasn't touching any full material in plastic bags or things like that, while we were recycling that. We're very good at recycling large material, the rigid plastics. When it comes to, for instance, plastic bottles, we are extremely good and probably the best in Africa. In Africa, I think we exceed everybody else. We haven't started waste to energy, but it is something we are looking at. Those plastics which unfortunately is not being recycled in South Africa at present.
Okay, thanks very much, and good luck with the rest of the week. Thanks very much, Plastics SA Sustainability Manager
Thank
John
you very
Kissa
much.
in Cape Town.